Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into Robert Mayer's How to Win Any Negotiation. And we're going to crack open a huge secret: how to get exactly what you want without making enemies. It's all about aiming for those tough, hard bargain results, but doing it with a surprisingly soft touch.
Okay, let's be real. Most of us, when we walk into a negotiation, we kinda dread it, right? It feels like you're already behind, staring down two bad options. You either have to sacrifice the relationship to get the deal, or sacrifice the deal to keep the relationship.
And that feeling? That's what's known as the negotiator's dilemma. We get it in our heads that we're trapped. You either have to be a total jerk or a complete doormat. There's just no other way.
So, on one hand, you've got the hardball player. Yeah, they're tough, they absolutely get what they want, but man, they leave a trail of scorched earth behind them. Then on the other side, there's the pushover. They're great at keeping everybody happy, but they walk away from the table with basically nothing. It just feels like you can't win.
But what if that whole dilemma is just a myth, a false choice? What if there's a third way that lets you have your cake and eat it too? Well, Mayer says there is. And it's the secret weapon of every super negotiator out there today.
And this one idea, right here, just flips the whole thing on its head. See, it's not about choosing between being hard or soft. It's about learning how to be both at the same time. It's the art of the velvet glove. You're pleasant, you're persuasive, but underneath it all, you are driving an incredibly firm bargain.
And look, this soft touch thing, it isn't just some vague vibe or a personality you have to be born with. No. It's a solid 6-part strategy that you can actually learn and use in pretty much any situation you can think of.
The whole method is packed into this one easy-to-remember acronym: LANCER. It stands for linkage, alignment, needs, control, evaluation, and reading. And trust me, this is going to become your new playbook for persuasion.
Now, the whole system is incredibly powerful, but the real secret sauce is in those first 3 steps: linkage, alignment, and needs. I'm telling you, these 3 are the absolute foundation of the soft touch. If you can get these down, the rest of it just kind of falls into place. First up, linkage. This is all about making the negotiation human. It's about building a connection so that people want to say yes to you just because they like you. They feel that rapport. Think about it. It's way harder to say no to a person you feel connected to than it is to say no to some faceless company. And this story just illustrates it perfectly. Mayer talks about being at Neiman Marcus, and the saleswoman was just so incredibly helpful. Folding shirt after shirt, he actually started to feel this personal obligation to her. And get this, he bought a shirt he didn't even want, not because he liked the inventory, but because he just couldn't bring himself to reject her. Now that is the power of linkage. Okay, next is alignment. This is so cool. It's about using the other person's momentum. So instead of pushing back and arguing against them, you actually move with them. Don't think of it like a boxing match. It's more like persuasive jujitsu. You use their energy to guide them right where you want them to go.
And that brings us to maybe the most powerful piece of the puzzle: needs. You know, we like to think we make decisions based on cold, hard logic, but we don't. Not really. We are driven by these deep psychological needs: the need to hit our goals, and, just as important, the need to feel good about ourselves. A great negotiator doesn't sell a thing, they satisfy a need.
Just look at this. On paper, that $35 quartz watch is a better watch. It's more accurate, it has more bells and whistles. But people will gladly shell out over $3,000 for the Rolex. Why? Because you're not buying a watch. You're buying a feeling better about yourself machine. The Rolex fulfills that deep, powerful, unconscious need for status and self-esteem. So once you've built that foundation, you've got your linkage, you've got alignment, you understand their needs, you've basically crafted the velvet glove. So now, let's talk about the iron fist inside it. Let's get into the hard bargain tactics for when the score really is kept in dollars and cents. This is how you get the best price, the best terms, the best deal possible, all while keeping that soft touch relationship that you worked so hard to build. One of the most brilliant tactics is reframing the situation. Mayer calls it the Spanish rice principle. So imagine this.
Your absolute favorite lunch is spaghetti. The cafeteria announces they're replacing it with fish. Your least favorite meal. You're horrified. But then, a few days later, they issue a correction. It's not fish after all. It's going to be Spanish rice. All of a sudden, boring old Spanish rice sounds amazing, right? Why? Because compared to the absolute worst-case scenario, the mediocre option looks fantastic.
And here's another trick that's so simple but so effective. When you make an offer, never, ever use a round number. An offer of, say, $3,000 just sounds like a starting point. It's basically an invitation to haggle. But an offer of $3,187.50, well, that sounds specific. It sounds researched. It sounds firm. It just psychologically shuts down the urge to lowball you.
So what happens when things get really heated? Well, if you absolutely have to draw a line in the sand and make an ultimatum, you have to follow the rules. Never lead with it, never bluff, and for goodness sakes, don't use a giant threat to win a tiny point. A threat is always a last resort, and if you use it wrong, I guarantee you, it will blow up right in your face.
So after all is said and done, after the soft touch and the hard bargain, what does winning actually look like? Is it just about walking away with everything you wanted?
And here it is, the ultimate takeaway. Real winning isn't about crushing your opponent. It's about getting the absolute best deal for yourself while letting the other person walk away with their head held high. Giving them a face-saving way out is what makes your hard bargain stick. It makes it work.
So the next time you're buying a car, or you're asking for that raise, or hey, even just deciding on vacation plans, remember you've got these tools. What are you going to do? Are you going to build some linkage first, uncover a hidden need for self-esteem, or maybe reframe the whole problem with a little Spanish rice? The power to tilt that playing field, it's in your hands now.